yeah, I hope that I provide some valuable insights to you guys and girls about the latest cyber attacks that you can suffer.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us. I'm Wael Makarim, Financial Market Strategist Lead at Exness. Exness is a leading broker, and I've been trading for 14 years. I'm looking to share my experience with you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, greetings industry peers. My name is Mina and I am from Alpari, business developer and coach, helping the team with the business strategic plans and analysts. Very nice to be here around you guys.
Thank you. So to come back to our topic, the forex market and traders are always exposed to risks. And there are numerous risks, but we are going to talk about two risks today. So it's geopolitics, cybersecurity. They touch the markets, they touch the finances of the traders. So let's start with our questions. So for Javier, what's the importance of cybersecurity, for example, in the industry and for your company in particular?
Yeah, we conduct a research at the very beginning of the year about what was the things that the traders look for a broker, for joining a broker, okay? And one of the top insights that we got was trust. They need to trust their brokers. And cybersecurity is about money, of course, but for me, it's about trust. When you lose the data of your clients, when you lose the credit card details, you are losing trust of your traders, okay? So that's the number one thing that I want you to get from this panel. And also, previously they mentioned some facts and some numbers. Last year, the cyber attacks grew 280% compared to 2022. 21% of these attacks were direct to UAE, to the Emirates. So we are in a region that is somehow an important target for hackers. Okay? And finally, talking about our experience at FXStreet, in the last 10 years that I have been working for the company, we suffered two major attacks. One was ransomware, where they just infect your files and you can read them or update them. The second one was a DDoS attack, where they just hijack a lot of devices around the world and they try to attack your domain and the servers go crazy. But in recent times, we have been seeing an increment in spam attacks, impersonification, and those types of attacks that goes directly to traders like you. Okay, so not only companies are now affected, but the final trader. Okay.
Yeah, so technology has become a really
Actually, like I passed through a lot of these things for the past 3 months. So imagine in 3 months, I got my card stolen 4 times. And I had every time to change it. And I'm making sure not to use it much in like fishy places, whatever, but still there are some ways, unfortunately, everyone is becoming like using more technology to become more sophisticated doing these stuff. And it's really something to take care of. But when it comes to Exness or our experience on that, of course, Javier started from a very, very important point, which is trust, because we're dealing with people's money, security, and everyone wants to ensure that they're safe on that. Exness has been a leader in investing in technology, and based on that, it's not only investing in like improving the services, etc., but also you need the same to invest in cybersecurity, because everyone is looking at technology, how it's moving in a very fast, exponential way, but there aren't many that are really willing to invest in cybersecurity, because most of the time you don't want to hedge against that tail risk that might come, but you don't know when this tail risk will come and really will ruin whatever you spent before. So it's very important to do that. And a lot of us could be exposed, whether through emails, whether in personification, especially in UAE. I get so pissed every time I have my Instagram or Facebook, whatever, on, and I see those ads of invest 1,000 dirhams in Salik and make 5,000 every month. And all of these, we know there are deep fake, and based on this deep fake, you go there and you put your information, But when you put your information, they start getting money from you. And then us as Exness or employees, we get calls from clients. We put money with you, but we can't withdraw it. And then we say, can you send us more details? And apparently someone cloned a website, or they acted as if they are someone from Exness and they ask people to deposit money or transfer their money. So unfortunately, we're having a lot of these across the MENA and Imprecise in Dubai. And we're always keen to let people use safer means, be always sure that they're not sharing their information with someone, or they're not pressing on links that they could allow others to get access to some important information.
Lina, maybe you want to
Of course, as a business, in order to keep the client's trust and business continuity, Alpari as a leading brand, we have always informed our clients about different trends that are in the market, and we have educated them. I think by educating your clients and creating awareness for them, you can always protect them from any risks that are available.
So it's good that you mentioned education. Is something I wanted to go to later. How do you think is it? So maybe we'll talk to it afterwards. But for example, we talked about the examples of the threats that the companies face in terms of cybersecurity. But the traders also, they face this. You talked about phishing and website cloning. What are the other threats that the traders face, and what can they do, or what advice would you give them to be aware of this?
You mean regarding cybersecurities? They can be scam emails regarding deposits and withdrawals, so they can always contact their relationship managers. I mean, trusted brokers always provide one-to-one, communication with their clients, and they provide multi-channels of communication, so you can always have somebody to contact you and ask about more direct information.
Using mainly safe connection channels, so they're not, like, for example, exposed to any attacks that could, for example, release or show their passwords, whatever, because like whatever you have access on these, you can do a lot of things. We're actually improving that and adding additional layers of security in order, for example, especially when it comes to deposit and withdrawals, it's very important, especially withdrawing, when it comes to accounts. So we're trying always to push the clients to add additional layer of security in order to be safe.
Yeah, well, Wael was talking about his personal experience. I had this experience 2 weeks ago, and it's a latest trend on this attacks, which the name is smishing, where you get an SMS on your phone, and it's apparently from your bank account, from your bank. So you read the message, and it's straight from your bank number. And it says, okay, update your details, or you got a receipt of 200 euros or whatever. You click on the URL and you put your personal details, and you are done. Okay, so my recommendation here is that always double check the source. Okay, when Mina said about the scamming and this impersonification. We have seen a lot of Telegram groups that apparently are from Alpari or FXStreet or whatever other company, and they are not. So always double check the original source, the domain. Okay, that's one of the things that is important.
Speaking about personal experience, I have last year I activated my TikTok account to try to just improve a little bit financial literacy, and at the time now I have like people contacting me from anywhere. Are you reaching us on TikTok asking us for money in order to give us signals or managing accounts? And apparently, every now and then I have impersonification, plenty of accounts. They have all my videos. I even created a video saying, guys, I'm not gonna ask you for money anytime. I'm not gonna do any of these things. So please, it's not me. And then also they posted this video on the new profiles. And when it comes to like verification, like I'm verified, for example, on Instagram, on Twitter, but on TikTok sometimes it's annoying. And even people, they don't take it to the next step to even think about that, because they come with very fancy offers that you can make thousands of dollars every day, blah blah, all that. And some people will say, hey, why I don't try that? And unfortunately, we're facing a lot of these, especially with deepfakes. And I hope at the time we can minimize the downside risks that everyone would fall into these traps.
So we mentioned education multiple times. it's becoming more important that now that we, as Javier said, the attacks increase the number and the frequency. Is it a regular part of the things you do to educate your traders, for example, or about trading, risk management, etc.? Cybersecurity including this type of education?
Well, actually, we provide webinars and we provide educational videos for our clients. And as I mentioned, we have personal account managers with their mother language that provides one-to-one services to them, and they're always at hand and available, so you can talk to them about any types of scams, withdrawals, deposit, SMSs, emails, anything that you receive. And everything that is too good to be true, you should always be suspicious, I believe. I mean, as a trader, when you are in a financial market, you have to be able to analyze every set of detail.
And now we have been seeing a surge in the use of AI and the adoption of AI. Does AI provide a threat to traders, or does it enhance or reduce the threats that are posed by cybersecurity?
Yeah, for me, there are three things that we need to take into account. We're talking about AI and cybersecurity. The first thing is misinformation. Again, another example of what happened in our company a year ago. One competitor of us started to copy our content and just tweak it with AI. Okay, so probably you're asking, okay, what's the cybersecurity threat there? Okay, imagine that for any reason we make a mistake in an article. Not only the traders that come to FXstreet will be affected, all the traders from this company that they copy our content will be affected. So misinformation is critical here in the era of AI. The second one is deepfakes, as well, just mentioned a couple of times. In my opinion, in a couple of years, it will be very difficult to distinguish between an AI voice and a real voice. We are talking about videos. We saw a lot of YouTube videos with Tom Cruise doing just crazy stuff. This is going to be better and better in terms of technology.
I believe the only barrier of what you're saying that would take time is that people nowadays, they're not like keen to pay subscription in order to do this. But if they are willing to do that, or the prices are lower, or they have free stuff, it's gonna be more and more available, unfortunately.
Yeah, sure. And the last thing is that the technology, people are getting easier to reach this technology, these scripts to make attacks. And for that, we need to take into account that any people around the world can just make a script right now with ChatGPT and just run this script, and this is another kind of attack. Okay, so the democratization of the technical knowledge is the other threat.
So the fact that cyber attacks increase, do you see it changing the behavior of traders, for example, when compared to before?
Well, we don't see this like very direct, because like usually cyber attacks, when it comes to that, like those who are doing the cyber attack, what they care about more is how fast they can get the money out. And mostly, so it's related to whether there are some withdrawal channels, whatever. But when it comes to traders' attitude, we don't see that. Like, because as a trader nowadays, how would that affect me? Unless it's the case that Javier is talking about, that it changes type of information that's very delicate to your decision making. So this is something. But when it comes to the broader picture, we don't see that, other than if it's something about your investments on the cyber attacks. Cybersecurity, my bad.
Well, and cybersecurity is, I think traders have become more cautious and knowledgeable, in terms of all the threats that are available. And I think by creating the right amount of information and awareness, and actually informing them beforehand about any type of threats is very helpful. But I've seen in our company that traders are very informed, and they're actually very comfortable with us because we have provided the right amount of information and they can trust us.
Okay, so we talked extensively about cybersecurity. We will move now to the second risk that we mentioned, is geopolitics. It's something that's important, and it impacts.
I believe that would be very interesting for everyone
nowadays.
nowadays.
Of course, yeah. It's something that's really prominent these few years, and it has impacted the markets a lot. Okay, can you give us your opinion on how geopolitics impact markets, forex markets in particular?
I was the techie guy. But yeah, well, of course, in the MENA region, as I said, with the facts that I mentioned earlier, is one of the region of the world that are more easy to be attacked right now because of the geopolitical situation. Um, yeah, well, probably brokers in this area need to be conscious about all the measure and all the money that they need to invest in this area of the business. And yeah, and as I said, if you want that your traders trust you, you need to invest in this, this area is really critical right now.
Well, I believe agile, risk-tolerant portfolios are the ones that benefit from geopolitics. You know, seasoned traders normally flock to like safe havens, gold and silver treasuries. But what we have noticed recently is that many traders actually move to digital safe havens like Bitcoin. They're quite popular these days. Of course, they're a little bit volatile and less liquid, but it's an alternative that the traders are actually moving to. And I think they have learned to diversify their portfolios more actively, which is really interesting. You know, the diversification is what helps you to move through and maneuver through different economic cycles. And of course, shorter trading horizons, scalping, known as scalping and scalpers, which is really famous these days. You know, it actually helps traders to benefit from short, periods of trading and the chances that are available in the market.
Actually, if we look at like as a trader, I'm not gonna tackle that as an analyst, whatever. But as a trader, the easiest money is done usually when you have heightened geopolitical tensions, because when you jump into such things, usually some certain commodities or some assets they tend into a clear direction, and most of the traders they falter in deciding what's the direction of the market. So when you have something that could really give a bit of a look on where asset could be going, this could be easier for a client to assess. When it comes to geopolitical tensions, of course, whether it's or geopolitical factors that affect markets, whether we can call whether elections, whether political instability, wars, trade sanctions, any of these things, they definitely impact a lot of assets, FX, commodities, stock indices, lately crypto, especially with all that risk on, risk off sentiment. So of course they tend to fluctuate faster, and by fluctuations we mean volatility, and by higher volatility, this could be good for some types of traders and could be bad for some other types. Those who really favor scalping, short moves, swings, whatever, could benefit. Those who also could lead a trend or follow a trend, it could also benefit, but also at the same time this comes at a heightened risk because everything can change at any time.
With all these tensions increasing, do you see a change in the behavior among traders? Do they behave differently? Are they more scared of the market?
I don't think so. I mean, with all the communities that are available at the moment in education and platforms that have, informed clients, they have learned how to leverage the fundamentals to their benefit and take advantage of the market. I think, on equity markets, the geopolitical, they don't have lasting impacts, but when we're talking about commodities market or forex market, they're actually quite volatile during geopolitics, and you can actually benefit from the market with gold, silver, oil. These are all the trading instruments that provide the best, opportunities for traders. I don't think they're that much scared of risk these days. With a correct form of, risk management, you can actually benefit from the market.
She highlighted something that I can't stay away without commenting on it, which is communities and those who really show up to people that, when you're a trader and you're stuck in a trade, you just want someone to save you. So you start going online searching for anyone who could tell you what could happen in the market. And plenty of those who run communities nowadays, they don't care about you. They just care how much money they're banking in or how many accounts they're opening with brokers. So by that, you really need to be sure that those who you are following for information, they are really legit people, they know what's happening. Because most of the time, a lot of people when it comes to geopolitical tensions and how they affect the markets, since we mentioned market volatility, markets can tend to switch directions in a very fast way. And most of the traders, they get caught on that last move. And all those guys from communities, whatever, or misinformation that they're getting, they don't like want to show that yes, we are on the wrong side of the trade. And what happens to retail traders? They get caught with all that negative trade all the time. And those community guys, no, it's gonna turn around. It's gonna turn around. So one of the things, yes, cybersecurity is a threat for all that, but also misinformation on communities is something that really everyone should take care of. When it comes to traders' attitude, frankly speaking, from retail perspective, most of retail traders, what they care about is volatility. So as long as it's tensions, it's financial information, economic indicators, whatever, they want something that really moving. So of course, this is what they're looking for, fluctuations. When it comes to more professional investors, which I believe a lot of people start like adopting those ways to really invest and make money, I believe, yes, those guys, they look for diversification, not just like, but try to look for different types of risks in order to avoid it. But mostly because we're in a retail environment, retailers, they just like fluctuations.
I would like to make a comment on Bala's point. To be honest, I agree with you, but there is no holy grail for these, trading during times of volatility. But they say, think like a scientist, wait like a hunter, and execute like an assassin. In these times, this is how you should, consider the market.
In terms of volumes, of trade volumes, liquidity, how does these geopolitical events affect the market?
Ladies first, go ahead.
Well, I believe there is huge volatility in the market, and it depends on the type of events and geopolitical. By geopolitical events, I don't want to just talk about conflicts and wars. I believe elections and even diplomatic relationships are very important, and traders have taken into consideration depending on the type of news or the events that are in the market. But I think it's hugely volatile. But with the right kind of risk, you can always manage everything perfectly.
Of course, and such factors, they would affect markets. Like we opened today on a gap on gold and oil, and this was after a tense weekend. So of course, these tough times they add some struggles to companies to maintain liquidities, etc. When it comes to Exness, we have a very good business model, especially when it comes to offering the no market impact for big traders. It's really working well. Of course, you can't just guarantee that there will be always perfect execution, because at the end we just follow what's happened in the markets and how tight this liquidity could come when we have sudden events or surprises in the markets.
So we talked about the risks. So what are the solutions? What are the risk management strategies that people can use to avoid all this?
I believe Javier can help us on this a little bit.
Yeah, well, talking about security, for traders, I would say there are three things that you can just apply. First, I love what Fedi from Moneta said, the previous speaker, stay informed. Not only about the markets, but about the latest trends in cybersecurity. This should take you, I don't know, 5 minutes every month or something like that. Just review a little bit about the newspapers, what's the latest trends about the cybersecurity. The one like the smishing that I mentioned is a new one. So the next time you are potentially affected, it rings the bell, okay? The second one is always try to activate, I know it is a pain, but the two-factor authentication in your mobile is a great way to stay safe on these types of attacks. And the last one is there is this software that is a password database centralized, like Bitwarden, where you just store all your passwords in the same platform, and you can create a really complicated password, and you don't need to remember them. So these are the three things for traders, and for brokers, it's more or less the same. You have to train your employees. You have to do audits regularly. Education of your all levels in your company is crucial, and the other way that it can be good for staying safe in cybersecurity matters is implementing blockchain technologies in certain areas of the business. For for example, trading transactions, which can be potentially a risky point. As I said, brokers, I would say education again, training, and blockchain technologies.
Yeah, I believe understanding the fundamentals, getting the right insight from analysts. I mean, best brokers always provide analysts ideas and insight, fast execution, understanding risk and reward management and everything. These are the things that can help maneuvering over the complexities of these things that are available in the market.
For me, I believe it's two main big headlines that unfortunately a lot of retail traders they lack. Getting your financial profile and your risk profile. Financial profile, how much money you can afford to lose in order to go on that, and risk, how much risk also you can, because like we know most of the traders, they're amateurs, and when they got caught with any of these moves that are come fast in the market, especially when it comes to commodities and this severe moves that we see sometimes, it's very hard for them to really cope with such a risk. So they have to know at first, if they're not up to this risk, they shouldn't be joining the market. This is first. Second one, of course, like there are a lot of tools on platforms nowadays to mitigate your risk. Among them, stop losses, take profits, whatever. And this could be plenty, whether static or even fixed. And also, you have to stay informed, because as Fiar mentioned at the beginning, it's all about information. Well, this information can really matter a lot, and because it's about your positioning. If you lack a few seconds on that headline, sometimes you're gonna get caught on the other side of the trade, or you're just gonna lose what could have been a good positioning for yourself. So a lot of things that traders could do. These are just few of them. Yeah.
So the following question was about factors that traders should follow during this kind of difficult market conditions. You mentioned the news, you mentioned getting always following what's happening. What are other factors that you can maybe mention?
You manage factors, or it's like strategy. Like a lot of people will tell their traders, okay, if you see heightened geopolitical risks, whatever, just stay out. But you have a lot of people that would love that. And it depends on the way that they're looking at the markets. Some people would say, I'm not going to look at any fundamental source, at anything of this information. What I'm going to look at is just this chart. If it's going to cross above that, I'm going to do this trade. Below that, I'm going to do this trade. If this oscillator going to reach a certain level, I'm just going to jump into that trade. So definitely there is no one answer. It all depends on how the trader is. And a lot of people would find it interesting. Like a lot of algo traders would love what's happening, especially, for example, the performance that we had on gold this year. It created a lot of opportunities for those who are really systematic, who know how to really tackle such moves in the market. So what I believe is that every second the market is open is an opportunity, because of all the sophistication that we have in financial products and accessibility to financial markets. But there isn't something that's one rule fits all when it comes to that. But what's good for some is bad for others, and the other way around.
Well, I believe it's a question of characteristic. If you are a risk taker, you can easily benefit the market with the right tools, as Wael mentioned. You can put stop losses, you can cover the risk, you can have fast execution in the market, you have to diversify your portfolio. And I think it's a question of characteristic and understanding the market sentiment, which is really important for traders. But you don't necessarily have to stay away from the market, actually. If you have the right type of information and you are informed and you make a good decision, you can actually take benefit from the market. As he mentioned, there are opportunities in the market in milliseconds.
So we covered a bit. So we covered a bit of the risks, a bit of the solutions. There's a trend with technology that we've been seeing with AI. So what role could technology play in alleviating this risk, be it for traders or for companies, brokers, etc.?
I believe, for example, in Alpari, we are a huge fan of technology advancements, and we have always moved with the flow. Recently, we've been providing the new service for our clients that is integrated with AI that provides market ideas and sentiments for clients that they can use. But it's actually a combination of AI and analyst insight as well. So you can always use the best part of technology to your benefit. Or for example, in terms of providing the right type of information or the facilities, how it makes it easy to have access to all types of information. I think it's a good thing that you can use.
Yeah, I totally agree with Mina, and we have seen how this new era of AI, like ChatGPT or Perplexity or any other tool, is giving certain professions a lot of advantages. With the financial, we are getting there, but it's a difficult industry, so we will see more advanced scenarios in the coming years or in the coming months. For us, for example, one thing that we did at our company was to provide the speed tracker, which basically is when a Fed speaker gives something about the interest rates, we just take this statement and we try to translate that into a number. So 0 is dovish, 10 is hawkish, and the trader can just benefit from AI to get into the market quicker. Okay, so yeah, for me, AI is going to be very, very beneficial for the financial service in the coming years. But it's true that it's more difficult that the media industry that, for example, FXStreet is part of it.
So nowadays, like AI is the big word. Like if someone wants to sell you something, they would just add AI to it, and then you feel, oh wow, I have to be part of it. So when you just look at that, it's really frustrating for traders. We spoke about threat nowadays. You know, another thing that pisses me off, other than those deepfake videos, is those AI promotions that some people will come and tell you, I have this software that it's backed by AI and it can make you millions if you just deposit $100, blah blah blah. So this is most thing that the traders have to stay away of these guys. I've spent a lot of time trying to practice a lot of things in algo trading for more than 8 years now. Yes, AI is good. We have a lot of applications that they have good engines nowadays. It makes your life way easier. I used to spend a few days to ask someone to help me code or pay someone to code me some sort of algo, whatever. Now with AI, I can do it easier. And also, it's not pure AI, but it's also some certain libraries that would mix and match stuff easier. Yes, it could help a lot traders to try to grasp what's in the market, especially what Javier has said. So for example, instead of waiting for what the Fed is saying, Fed official is saying, blah, 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 you're seeing it in numbers. So it's helping to loosen that time for you to adopt that information. A lot of good initiatives are happening, but one main thing that remains a threat, especially, it's not a threat, but it remains very hard, especially for retail traders, that you will not reach a time where you're going to use something from AI that's going to be very easy to access and for you to have for you to enjoy millions of dollars without just putting any effort. This is, if it's going to be accessible to you, it's going to be accessible to everyone. And we can't reach singularity in markets because this is not...
this is one of the things of the AI that has been converted into a commodity very, very quickly. So you need to take care, be aware of that. Probably what you are using is being used by millions of users at the same time. So it's nothing special at the end of the day. And for us, we have had internal discussion in our company about how to use AI and how to label it, because let's be honest, right now every company is labeling AI power or whatever. For us, keep the human in the loop is totally, is necessary. Okay, so as well said, it's not for the sake of AI. AI can be very, very beneficial for productivity things, but you need the human touch at the top of it.
Analyst insight are very important, as I mentioned, yes. But there is a human limitation that AI can overcome that. For example, when we're talking about robot traders, these are really good. You can't always stay up, and market is 24/7. So why not use it when you can take advantage of the market? There are a few things that we can take it to our advantage, and I think robot trading and AI, a combination of it with analyst insights and human insight is really powerful.
But what you're mentioning about that, unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation for a lot of traders. But they think especially nowadays, because it's easy to to market some stuff by using AI. So a lot of people would think that algo trading just needs to be called with AI, whatever. If you want to include the analyst insight, you can just have any ABC that works with a trending market and any ABC that works with a reverting market or with a sideways market, and then you just drip it on. It's again, if you combine the analyst insight with the older tools that you used to have, it could be fine. AI will be here to just minimize our efforts, but it's not a guarantee that you will make money. When you come to just do a time series in order to assess where the market could be going, whatever, you still have a chance that this will not go your way, because we live or we trade the markets that can move in anything. Any tweet from here, any movement in here, anything can affect the market. And when you have a lot of factors, even if you come to AI and try to put all these factors inside, maybe at a time you're just missing the weight on something, and it will need a lot of time to just teach itself that yes, this risk this time it was this much, but at the next time it's going to be different. And by that, until reaching that place for retail traders, it's going to take years and maybe more than that.
Thank you very much for your insights. I hope all these ideas will help our audience trade better, understand the risk better, and take the best solutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.